Before I move away this mountain of laundry for filming, I thought you should see some behind the scenes. Now that the pile of laundry is out of the frame. Hi friends! Today I want to talk about something I have been actively working on in my own life, and that is stopping my multitasking habit. I just started noticing how often I'll be trying to do 5 things at one time and still feeling really behind, disconnected from my kids and carrying all this heavy mom guilt of, am I missing out on the days that I will want back? So I started testing something new. What would happen if I stop multitasking? It turns out a lot has changed. So in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the truth about multitasking and what has been really helping me get things done without sacrificing being present with my children. If you are constantly multitasking, like trying to fold laundry while answering texts, drinking that cup of coffee that you reheated 3 times already this morning, while half listening to your toddler talking about purple dinosaur flying a helicopter, you are not doing it wrong. You're just doing too much at once. Here's the fundamental problem with multitasking. Most of us multitask because we have to, or at least we think we do. The demand for a mom's attention never stops. And most importantly, we don't get to set the pace. You don't get to decide when someone suddenly feels hungry or needs a diaper change, or when messes happens, or bills show up, or appointments needs to be scheduled. But here's the problem. Our brains are not built to multitask. What we're actually doing is called task switching, and tons of research shows that it actually makes us less productive, we're more forgetful, and we're more likely to make mistakes. And most importantly, it makes us feel stressed and overwhelmed. It's not just frustrating, it's actually very costly. We lose presence, we lose patience. Because of multitasking, we are haunted by that feeling of failing or falling behind, even when we are doing so much. So no matter how our hyper-productive culture encourages, there is no proof that multitasking is actually more productive. So here's what I've been doing instead and what has actually been working. The biggest tool that has helped me is a visual timer. And my friends, if you have not tapped into this yet, please get yourself one. There's so many ways that it benefited our lives. For a start, it prevented so many meltdowns because I could just say, well, we're gonna watch TV for 15 minutes, and when the timer goes off, we're gonna turn the TV off. And that is a great way to prevent meltdown, because the thing that is telling my toddler time's up is not me, but the clock. That same principle applies to leaving the playground or getting out of the door. But here are some examples of how I use this to help me be more present with my children. This is how I use it for myself. I often set a 10-minute or a 15-minute timer to just get one thing done. The next way I use this timer is to designate specific focus blocks. That means if I have something that I really need to focus on while my children are around, I will go to my older kid and tell them, mommy needs some focus time to work or call or clean this up. I will need 15 minutes. When the timer is done, mommy's able to help you with whatever you need. Honestly, it took a couple of weeks to onboard, but recently I'm really starting to see some fruits. So I caught my son a few times stopping himself on the track of interrupting me before the timer has gone off, and I am so proud of him. On that note, it's very important to build trust when you're using this timer system with your children. When that timer goes off, you need to drop whatever you're doing, close your laptop, hang up that phone. That way the children know that their mom will always be available after the timer goes off, which helps them build patience because they know they can trust the timer. Another way I use this timer with my children is on days when I am just really busy and the schedule's so full and I cannot be as present with him as he would like me to, where he would ask me, mommy, can we play? Mommy, can we play? And I really want to say yes, but I just can't. I will use this timer to tell them how much time I actually have to play with them. In that case, no matter how busy I am, I will try my best to find that 5-minute or 10-minute block where I can set a timer and be 100% present with them. In terms of time with our kids, I think we often focus so much on the quantity but not the quality. And honestly, 5 to 10 minutes of complete focused time with your children can really make a lot of difference. Another strategy that is tried and true is to pre-decide the present mommy zone. And that means picking specific parts of the day that are off limits for multitasking, like meal time or story time or your toddler's bath time. For me, Meal times are the focus times. That means no devices, no logistics discussion. We eat and we chat. I mean, I still get up a million times to get refills or water bottles or a different forks. To the best of my capability, it is present mommy time. Really simple things like knowing that I am not going to check my phone no matter what during mealtime can really start adding up and reduce that decisions fatigue and helps you be more fully present on purpose. The next thing is to always plan the priorities of your day. Look, I know what it's like. Unexpected things will always fly at you when you're a mom, but it doesn't mean you can't plan. Even if it's a super chill day and nothing's on your schedule, no appointments, no activities, no work, still write down your priority. And especially on crazy days, please write down the priorities. So in my bullet journal system, I limit the amount of priorities to 3 in a day because once it's past 3, it's not a priority anymore. If you are interested in how I organize my mom life with littles, please check out this video that I made about this video. Keep forgetting which way it is. Anyways, please check out this video. So I still keep a to-do list, a task list, but I always refer back to the priority list so that I have some sort of guideline of a day, sort of like a main street of the day. So it prevents myself from being pulled in 10 different directions and constantly context switch all day. I highly recommend having a brain dump system so that I keep a running list in my bullet journal or on my fridge instead of in my head. This started when I just keep going to the store and come back and realize, oh, I forgot to get salt, I forgot to get fruits. So I started a magnetic sheet on my fridge that I can write on. Produce, pantry items, diapers, or next size up shoes are all gonna go on that list whenever I realize we need to buy this. So I don't just keep it in my head and be like, oh, what do I need to get at the store again every time I go? You know that frustrating feeling when I try to like have this focused prayer time or Bible study time before the kids wake up and it's so precious, but my mind is constantly bombarded by the to-do list of the day. So I just started using the sticky note whenever I pray. If I have any thoughts about things that needs to be done, I'll write it on that note. Another thing pops up in my head, that goes on the note. Another one goes on the note. After a while, this just evolves into this brain dump section in my bullet journal. So instead of just keeping sticky notes everywhere that I lose all the time, I'd like to keep it in one place so that I don't actually forget. Let's talk about minimizing decisions fatigue. I am a huge advocate for automating your life and simplifying your default tasks. For example, prepare a few go-to lunches for the kids, as in you don't need to prepare them ahead of time, but just have it in your head, know what the snack options are, and have 2 simple breakfast ideas. Have some sort of weekly routine or daily routine. For example, I only do like a formal grocery shopping on Fridays. I take a picture of the list that I have on the fridge, and I also plan my meals ahead. As we go through the week, if we run out of things like essential things before Friday, I will have Wednesday to do a pickup order on my way home from Bible study. That way I'm not always driving to the store to pick up a few items at a time, nor am I running out of eggs for breakfast next day, so I have to scramble for breakfast ideas. Another example of my weekly routine is that every Wednesday I go to Bible study, but before the Bible study I will go through the car wash, I will clean up the car and vacuum the interior. After the Bible study we will go home, and Wednesday lunches is always mac and cheese. That way my kids can always have one lunch that they really like in a week, but not every single lunch because they still need to eat a nutritious balanced diet. Our go-to snacks at home will be yogurt and fruit. If we're outside of the house, we often have beef jerky, string cheese, or crackers, or oranges and bananas. There are so many ways I automate my life as a mom, and if that's something you're really interested in and would like me to make a video about, please let me know in the comments below. Okay, so yes, the fewer decisions you have to make in the moment, the easier it is for you to stay present in the moment and avoid mental multitasking. It is so important to record the wins. I am still learning to do this. If I have given my child very present time, then I should be writing it down. We can use any kind of tracker, some free printables of sticker charts. It doesn't really matter as long as you have a way to look back at the times that you actually were super present with your children. The thing we're trying to tackle here is mom guilt. The problem with mom guilt is that it likes to creep in. Even even when it does not have any solid basis of accusation. So don't let mom guilt get to you. Keep a record of how you spend, for example, 10 minutes of 100% focus time with your children today, because that means a lot to your kids and they're not nothings. On that note, if mom guilt is something you really struggle with, check out this video that I have made about identifying the root causes of mom guilt and how you can practically get over it. I love batching tasks by modes. That means grouping tasks that use the same kinds of focus. For example, I try to batch all my computer work and calls when the kids are napping, because I know it's nearly impossible to try to multitask work and calls with unexpected blowouts or someone needing a bottle or a snack. Another example is when my son asks me to play together, all I do is play, despite sitting on Legos or seeing all the other toys flooding the entire living room floor and trying to pick them up conveniently. So setting that firm boundary with myself is super important. Another example would be doing all my kitchen resets at one time. While I am doing that, my oldest will be picking up his toys, putting away his books, and picking out books that he wants to read with his dad during his nighttime routine. This is also a way to batch tasks, because while I'm cleaning up, my kids are also cleaning up. So we're both not really present with each other, so that later when we enter into nighttime routine, we can be fully present with each other. This cuts down the mental load and really helps me finish things faster without multitasking. I highly recommend scheduling a weekly clean out time for your brain. So once a week, I will set aside about an hour or so to plan my week, brain dump everything, go through the brain dump section of last week and see what are some of the things that need to just be let go of, or what are some things that must be done. This is a great time to update your planner, recap your week, plan your meals, review the routines. Are things still working? Did the baby drop a nap? And therefore, do we need to reshuffle things? And after doing all that, I will pray over the week. I know with how busy mom life is, it feels like, oh, another hour, another thing to do. But without the time of reflection, we're often more likely to continue to carry unnecessary mental and physical burdens. So again, I would recommend you check out this video about how I organize my week, and I've linked it in the description below as well. So this once a week clean out is almost like a system reboot for your brain. It helps you multitask a lot less because things are more mapped out. Well, there you have it. These are all the tried and true things that I have been doing to help myself stop multitasking. So what's the one thing that you're ready to try right away? Please let me know in the comments below. You can see a theme emerging as I was explaining all these methods. I was doing all the things to try to set myself up to be more present with my kids. I think in a time and age when fragmented attention is such a norm, I hope to model a way of life that really fosters joy, a deep, deep sense of peace and joy by being present. When I remind myself that my kids won't remember a spotless home, but they will remember if I was present, it really helps me let go of perfection and lean into the moment that I am in. And if you enjoy contents related to intentional motherhood, please be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!